Welcome to Brew's Corner. It's bright early morning on a Saturday. Um, a few things going on. I've learned about a few things here today watching the news. Things I didn't know, things I've been brought up to date on. And so I think today should be a day to celebrate success because there's a lot of negativity going on in today's world with, three major things going on. The violent protests that are going on the streets due to people believing there's excessive police force and abusive police force, with the COVID virus, people unemployed. But then we have the SpaceX Crew Dragon mission today. It's been 9 years since the shuttle's gone up into space, and I think that's a success that we should celebrate today and focus on it. And so the title of my segment today, Brew's Corner, is Collaboration Equals Believing in Each Other. And so let's look at two cases where we haven't collaborated, and let's look at a case where we have collaborated, where there's leaders, there's great decisions being made, and there's going to be a great success later to celebrate regarding the SpaceX Crew Dragon. So let's start out with a quote from Reid Hoffman. He says, "No matter how brilliant your mind or strategy, if you're playing a solo game, you'll lose out to a team." And talk about teamwork. SpaceX, they got to dot their I's, cross their T's with everything they're doing regarding their mission. And it's amazing how Black Americans, white Americans, back in the day when John Glenn was orbiting the moon, and then they thought the heat shield was going to go on him, and they had the Black American women behind the math to get him safely home. What a collaborative effort that was to get John Glenn around the moon and then safely back. Black Americans working with white Americans. So we see two cases where we're failing. You see 20 states are dealing with protests this morning. A couple of those states have called on the military National Guard. People are hurting each other. People are setting fires to buildings. It's sad what's going on with regards to what I've heard. I guess some police departments still use old procedures to provide excessive force versus others, and there's got to be a consistent training among those forces or those departments to handle certain situations. And I'm sure there is in some areas, but some areas they are doing some older ways to apprehend people. And I don't understand the lack of consistency when it comes to the excessive force bit. But it's not white people hurting white people, or black people hurting black people, or black people hurting white people. It's people not coming together to make these decisions and to lead. We've got today in Atlanta, people protesting in the streets even to this morning. Black people setting fire to small business owners who are black owners. We see white people fighting amongst white people and beating each other up. It's all over the news, unfortunately, and it's sad to see. This is not a race thing that's going on with these protests. This is a people showing and demonstrating that they are upset that civil rights are being taken away. And let's make that clear. These are protests that are Some are peaceful across the country and some are violent, but it's not a race issue. And I think that's got to be very clear. But look at the lack of leadership. Where are those inspiring leaders that are going to come stand amongst a crowd? They're in their warm houses tweeting. That's what those leaders are doing. Where's the inspirational sport figures? Where are the inspirational leaders, motivational speakers that will come out in front of crowds, speak to them, control the situation, inspire, and give some hope? We're not seeing that. More inconsistencies with regards to the virus. States were required to wait to reopen. Hospitalizations had to show a 2-week decrease before they could reopen. 17 states have seen spikes. Big thing on the news today, Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri, where you guys all saw the pool scenes where everybody's on top of each other, celebrating the reopening. It's been reported this morning, one of those people have said that they have tested positive for the virus. And so now they're requesting people that were at those pools and those bars and restaurants that person went to quarantine themselves for 2 weeks. Talk about the testing and the contact tracing that has to go on that hasn't been prepared before this pandemic even started. There was nothing being proactive with regards to testing or tracing, and now we're playing catch up. And here we are, even still playing catch up with testing and contact tracing. We do this reopening too soon. More than half the states in the United States that reopened too soon, and now every morning you're hearing new cases, new spikes, and now the big scene in Missouri with the Lake of the Ozarks, that big pool opened up, people on top of each other. One person has come forward and said they've tested positive for COVID. So we've looked at the civil rights issue. We've looked at the lack of leadership. CDC gives recommendations, then they pull back. With regards to this pandemic, no leadership. And look at where there's leadership and teamwork, though. Something to celebrate today. Success. This is America. This is why we're so great. SpaceX Crew Dragon goes up. It's been 9 years since the shuttle's gone up. Let's look at what happened a few days ago with SpaceX and the decisions they made to value human life. I'll say that again. SpaceX made decisions to value human life. And that's why the launch is going on today instead of it a couple days ago. Today, the launch is at 3:22. So if you want to watch something positive, watch the shuttle go up. The SpaceX Crew Dragon. They canceled. They postponed a few days ago because NASA has strict protocols in place. They have a plan with brilliant minds. But those brilliant minds cannot work alone. They have to work together. So let's learn from this model. How about that? Let's take a model and learn from it. So NASA, they say 30-mile-an-hour winds, no launch, no go. Fog density, too high, no go. Systems, if we have any glitch in the systems whatsoever, no go. We're not going to risk it. We're not going to take a chance. Valuing human life. Being safe for regards to the crew and dotting their I's, crossing their T's. Paying attention to every little detail, but having a strict protocol to follow that's mandated. Leadership, teamwork, brilliant minds coming together. Again, I go back to the day where John Glenn needed the Black American mathematicians to get him home safely. White American leadership working with Black American brilliant minds coming together as one to be successful. That's what this country is. The melting pot of the world needs to come together once again to be successful. And we're going to see that today at 3:22 when we see the SpaceX Crew Dragon mission be a success. But I call out leaders, inspirational, motivational speakers to come in front of these crowds instead of tweeting in your comfort of your warm homes and talk to the people. Send a message out to the people. We need pro athletes. We need celebrities. We need world leaders, state officials, national leaders, those prominent names that we all can identify with. Come out from the warmth of your homes, speak in front of these people, and make a statement that there still is hope and that we are still the United States of America. This has been Brews Corner. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please make a comment. Also, one more announcement. I have another channel called Brews Comedy Pit. I did my first skit this past week. So I hope you enjoy my comedy. And I will have another one this coming week, my top 10, but you're going to have to wait to see what my top 10 is. Please pay attention to my Facebook posts and the date of when you'll see my second go around at comedy. It's going to be a new top 10. And so I hope you tune in and enjoy. But I hope you can connect with what I talked about today with 3 examples of what's going on. What's going on with our civil rights, what's going on with this virus, and then what's going on with something great that's going to happen, historical, something that's going to be, we're celebrating a great success with the SpaceX mission today. So hopefully you have something to look forward to and enjoy that today. Again, this has been Brews Corner. Tout it.